#blessed. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking all about the application process for the nursing BSN program. A little disclaimer, everyone's application process is going to be a little different, so I'm just going to talk about like the general steps and what I did to apply. Number 1, you have to fill out the easy stuff like your name, where you live, your ethnicity, all that stuff, and that's just easy. Number 2, you have to talk about yourself. And for me, that's kind of hard. When someone asks me to tell them about myself, I'm like, what? I don't know what to say. That being said, there's a personal statement, and those questions are important because they want to know who you are as an individual and what you've done to be prepared for nursing school. So the first thing I can say, that was 2, but the first thing I can say to be like impressive is to talk about all of your volunteer experiences, what you have done so far, particularly pertaining to helping others. So like if you helped in your church, if you helped in your local community, if you helped overseas, if you helped at school, any of those things are very good to bring out your personal statements because they will show that you're a well-rounded individual and you're ready to take on the role of assisting others. You want to highlight your good parts. You want to say that, oh, like I'm very good at time management, or I'm very good at handling teamwork and sorts of things like that. You don't want to say anything bad about yourself, but you don't want to look too amazing because then they know you're gonna you're lying, I mean. And what I was told was they're gonna ask you what's something that you're not good at, or what's something you get better at, or what was something you failed at. And I learned that if you get asked that question, you should be honest and say that, but then be like, so let me give you guys an example. I am bad at public speaking. However, I took a communications class, and there I was forced to do speeches and like collaborate with other people in front of my teacher, in front of my classmates, and that really made me become more comfortable with talking in front of people. So what I did right there is I showed a weakness of mine, but then I said what I am doing to get better at it, and what are my steps to overcome this difficulty. And that's like very important in your personal statement if you speak about that. Number 3, your recommendation letters. They have to be so amazing. For me, I needed 2 professors and 1 work supervisor. So for my 2 school professors, I made sure I established a good connection with them, and I wasn't just a random student who went up to them and be like, can you write me a recommendation letter? Because first of all, that's not professional. Second of all, they probably won't do it unless they're like super nice. So the first thing I did was I knew from the beginning of my class, like the first day, that that's a professor I want to write my recommendation letter because they're very well known and they're in the science field, and that's impressive for nursing. Like it was my anatomy and physiology professor, and then a chemistry professor. First day of class, I went after class and I introduced myself to the professor just so they began to know who I was. Then as the quarter went along, I would go to office hours. I would ask questions in the office hours, and I would just get to know the teacher better, which was really hard for me. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it, because I am so shy, and I was able to do it, so you can do it. If you establish this good relationship with your professors, they will more than likely be willing to write you a recommendation letter, and the perks with that is you have a very impressive person writing your recommendation letter, and you have nothing to worry about in that regard. Number 4, make sure you are staying on top of things. You want to check your email, you want to check your messages every single day in case they email you, contact you, anything that they need an extra form from you or they need to meet with you right away because of something, make sure you are staying in contact with them so they know that you're interested. A big thing I did was I visited the campus that I wanted to go to, and I met with the Department of Nursing, one of the advisors there, and I was like, I'm applying and I wanted to make sure like I'm on the right track and everything. And they sat down with me, they talked to me, I got a tour around the campus, and I feel like that's very beneficial. So if you can do that, you should definitely try to do that. Even I know it's hard if some of you don't live in the area that you're applying to, but if you definitely can, go do that. Number 5, here are some questions that you might get asked on your application for your personal statement and or short answer questions. Why have you chosen to apply to this program? Why do you want to be a nurse? Why do you like our school? What makes you think you'd become a good nurse? What does a good nurse look like to you? Tell us more about yourself and what started your interest in nursing. Tell us about all your volunteer experiences pertaining healthcare. All these questions are fair game and they will probably be asked whether in the application or in the interview, so make sure you're prepared, you have good answers for that, and you don't want just a straightforward answer. You want to give a little more detail because they don't want a whole story, that's for sure, but they don't want just I like nursing, that's why I want to be a nurse, they make good money, things like that. That's not what they're looking for. Well, let's be real. Anyways, that's it for my application process. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something useful, and good luck to all those people that are applying. You got this.